We're glad you chose to share this night with me. You are safe here. And for this moment, you are not alone. There is nothing you need to think about now. Nothing you need to hurry toward. Nothing you need to fix. Everything, including you, deserves rest. There is no rush, no fear, no place you need to be. This is a time for quiet, for softness, for gentle release. Bring your attention to the present moment. Breathe in what feels good. And as you breathe out, let the past gently drift away. Life is meant to be flexible. And tonight is a small celebration of that. Slowly allow your body to soften. You are precious, just as you are. A flower never competes with another flower. It simply blooms. And now, it is your time to bloom. Trust your body. It is strong. It knows exactly what to do. Be kind to yourself in this moment. There is no greater wealth than a peaceful mind. Let your thoughts loosen. Let calm expand. And notice how safety and ease begin to settle in. You are here for yourself. And that is a beautiful thing. As you rest in this feeling of comfort and quiet joy, let us gently continue into tonight's story. Beyond gentle hills and wide open skies, there existed a kingdom that rarely hurried. Morning light arrived softly there, never rushing the day to begin. The people of this land spoke calmly, walked slowly, and listened more than they spoke. At the heart of the kingdom stood a pale stone castle, resting quietly as if it had been breathing for centuries. Its walls were warm to the touch, and its windows reflected the sky like still water. This was the home of Princess Rose. She had grown up within these walls, surrounded by long corridors, gentle echoes, and the steady rhythm of peace. Rose loved the quiet moments most. The moments when nothing needed to happen. In the early afternoons, she would walk slowly through the gardens, letting her footsteps match the pace of her breath. Tall trees swayed lightly above her, their leaves moving in calm agreement with the breeze. The air always felt safe here. Predictable. Soft. Rose often paused near the rose bushes that lined the stone paths. Each flower opened without effort, without urgency. She found comfort in that. Inside the castle, time behaved differently. Clocks ticked gently, never loudly. Even footsteps echoed less than expected, as though the castle itself wished to remain undisturbed. Rose moved through the halls with ease, her presence calm and familiar. She had learned, over the years, that stillness could be trusted. That rest did not need to be earned. As the sun drifted lower in the sky, the light inside the castle softened. Shadows lengthened slowly across the floors. Rose felt most at ease during this time of day, when the world seemed to exhale. She would sit near tall windows, watching clouds pass without direction or concern. Each cloud moved freely, unhurried. And without realizing it, Rose began to breathe the same way. Slow. Even. The kingdom had always been peaceful, but there was something deeper beneath the calm. A quiet magic, old and patient. It rested in the walls of the castle, in the roots of the trees, in the stillness between moments. And though Rose did not yet know it, that gentle magic had been waiting for her. Waiting calmly, without urgency. Just like sleep waits, when the time is right. Beyond the castle walls, the land stretched out in gentle layers. Rolling fields softened the horizon, blending into the sky without sharp edges. Nothing here felt sudden. Nothing felt demanding. The roads curved naturally, as if they had chosen the easiest path long ago. Travelers often noticed that their steps slowed without effort, as if the ground itself encouraged rest. Small rivers moved through the countryside, their waters gliding instead of rushing. They reflected the clouds above, carrying them quietly downstream. Villages rested near these rivers, built with patience and care. Windows remained open to let in the breeze. Doors closed softly. People here spoke in gentle tones. Pauses were welcome. silence was never uncomfortable. In the evenings, warm light spilled from lanterns, stretching calmly across stone paths. The glow never hurried the night to arrive. Rose often rode slowly through these lands, observing how everything existed in balance. She noticed how animals rested without fear. Cats slept wherever the sun touched the ground. Birds perched quietly, conserving their energy. Even the horses moved with steady, unforced rhythm. The land itself seemed to understand the value of rest. That nothing truly needed to be pushed. Rose felt this understanding settle within her. Her shoulders relaxed. Her thoughts softened. She realized that calm could be learned simply by observing. By allowing the body to match the pace of the world. As the sky shifted toward evening, colors faded gently from gold to blue. Stars appeared one by one, never all at once. Each star waited its turn. Rose watched them quietly, feeling no need to count. The night felt welcoming, not empty. It carried a soft promise of rest. A reminder that sleep was not an ending. It was simply a return. Back to stillness. Back to ease. And as Rose turned back toward the castle, the land remained just as calm as before. Patient. Quiet. Waiting. Rose had always been a quiet child. Not withdrawn, just comfortable in stillness. As a child, she spent long hours sitting near tall windows, watching light move across the floor. She didn't feel the need to fill the silence. The castle felt like a safe container around her. Its walls held warmth. Its halls carried familiarity. Nurses and caretakers moved gently around her, careful not to disturb her calm. They spoke softly in her presence. Even as a child, Rose slept deeply. Her breathing slow and even. Sleep always came easily to her. At night, Candlelight danced quietly against the stone walls. Shadows felt friendly. They never frightened her. She would listen to distant sounds, footsteps far away, a door closing gently. Each sound reassured her that everything was in place. On warm afternoons, Rose played in the inner gardens. She traced patterns in the soil with her fingers. She watched insects move without interfering. There was no rush to grow. No pressure to become anything more than what she already was. The seasons passed slowly. Summers stretched long and quiet. Winters wrapped the castle in silence. Snow softened every sound. Rose loved the way snow made the world feel smaller. Contained. Safe. As she grew, that sense of safety grew with her. She learned that rest was natural, that the body knew when to slow down, that stillness did not need permission. Her childhood passed without sharp edges. Memories blurred gently into one another. Like soft colors blending at the edges. And beneath all those years, one constant remained. A deep familiarity with rest. A quiet trust in sleep. That trust rested within her still, waiting patiently, unchanged by time. One afternoon, when the castle felt especially still, Rose wandered through a corridor she rarely used. The light there was dimmer, softer. Her footsteps slowed without her noticing. The air felt cooler, calmer. At the end of the corridor stood a narrow door. It had always been there, unnoticed. Rose opened it gently and found a small spiral staircase leading upward. Each step curved slowly, inviting patience. She climbed without effort, without urgency. At the top of the tower was a quiet room, untouched by time. Dust rested peacefully on wooden shelves. Sunlight filtered through a single window, falling in a warm, narrow beam. In the center of the room stood an old spinning wheel. It did not feel dangerous. It felt familiar. As Rose stepped closer, the room seemed to exhale. The spinning wheel hummed softly, a sound barely there. Rose reached out, her movements slow and relaxed. Her fingers brushed the smooth wood. And in that moment, a wave of calm moved through her body. Not sudden, not overwhelming. Just deep. Her shoulders softened. Her jaw loosened. Her breathing slowed naturally. The room felt warm, supportive. Rose sat down beside the window, feeling pleasantly heavy. The world outside continued quietly. Nothing needed her attention. Her eyelids rested lower. Not closed, just resting. The magic in the room was not forcing sleep. It was allowing it. Giving permission to let go. Rose remained there, breathing slowly, listening to the quiet hum, feeling the pull of rest grow stronger. Like the gentle tide, always returning to shore. Rose remained where she was. Her body no longer needed to move. The room held her gently. Breath flowed in. Breath flowed out. Nothing else mattered. Her eyelids slowly closed. Not as a decision, as a release. Muscles softened one by one. Neck, shoulders, arms, hands resting easily. Her chest rose gently, then fell. Thoughts began to drift, not stopping, just slowing. like leaves floating on calm water. No need to follow them. No need to hold them. The spinning wheel was quiet now. Or perhaps it never made a sound at all. Time felt wide, unmeasured, safe. The castle rested with her. Walls still, floors steady. The kingdom beyond slowed further. Animals settled. Lights dimmed. Even the air seemed heavier. Comforting. Rose drifted deeper. Down into a quiet place. Where effort was unnecessary. Where awareness softened. Breathing continued on its own. Steady. Reliable. Sleep wrapped around her gently. Not tight. Not heavy. Just present. Holding her in rest. Holding her in calm. Holding her in silence. Nothing needed to change. Nothing needed to happen. This stillness was enough. The castle no longer noticed time. Minutes and hours softened into the same quiet space. Nothing marked their passing. Rose slept deeply. Her breath continued its gentle rhythm. In. Out. The tower held its stillness. The walls remembered calm. The floor supported her without sound. Outside, the kingdom rested as well. Fields lay quiet. Rivers moved slowly. Stars remained steady in the sky. Nothing asked for attention. Nothing interrupted the night. Sleep settled deeper. Like a soft blanket. layer by layer. Thoughts faded into distance. Memory loosened its edges. Awareness thinned gently. The story itself began to quiet. Words became less important. Meaning softened. Only rest remained. Only breathing. Only stillness. The night continued without effort, holding everything in balance. There was nothing to reach for, nothing to remember, nothing to finish. The castle stayed quiet. The world stayed calm. And sleep remained. Soft. Deep. Unbroken. Long ago, in a land far from noise and hurry, there was a kingdom that lived in silence and light. The hills were soft and green, the forests breathed slowly, and the sky always seemed to rest gently above everything. At the heart of this land stood a quiet castle, not grand, not loud, but calm and warm, like a place meant for rest. Within this castle, a child was born to the king and queen, a baby with peaceful eyes, and a calm, steady breath. They named her Eloan, a name chosen for its softness, a name that felt like still air at dawn. From the beginning, Eloan carried a sense of quiet with her. When she slept, the room seemed calmer. When she breathed, others slowed without knowing why. On the night of her blessing, the wise guardians of the land arrived, not with noise or ceremony, but with gentle footsteps and warm light. Each offered a gift: peace, patience, a heart that would never rush. But from the edge of the room, a shadow stirred, an old presence, forgotten, unsettled, and heavy with unrest. A voice spoke, low and slow, carrying a spell shaped by bitterness. On her 16th year, Eloan would touch the tool of endless motion and fall into a sleep deep enough to still time itself. Before fear could take hold, another voice answered, soft, steady, unshaken. The spell could not be undone, but it could be gentled. Eloan would not be lost. Her sleep would be calm, dreamless, safe. And one day, when the moment felt right, she would wake naturally, as all things do. Years passed quietly. The kingdom slowed its pace. Spinning wheels disappeared. Sharp edges softened. Life became unhurried. Eloan grew, kind, thoughtful, drawn to quiet paths and forest light. She loved early mornings, mist between trees, the sound of her own footsteps. On the day she turned 16, the air felt heavier, not with fear, but with stillness, as if the world itself had decided to pause. She wandered, slowly, into an old tower long unused. There, waiting patiently, was the spindle, silent, unmoving. When her finger brushed it, there was no pain, no shock, only calm. Eloan rested where she stood. Her breath deepened, her body softened, and with her, the kingdom slept. Birds paused mid-song, candles burned without flicker. Time folded in on itself, like a blanket. Years drifted by, like slow clouds. One day, not rushed, not forced, someone arrived, a traveler with no urgency. They walked gently through the silent halls, not to wake, but to understand. And standing beside Eloan, they felt it. This sleep was not an ending. It was rest. As naturally as breathing, the moment passed. The spell loosened. Eloan woke as one wakes from a nap. Slowly, peacefully, without confusion. Light returned. Movement followed. Life continued, unchanged, yet softer. And now, as this story slows, you may notice your own breathing. In and out, easy and natural. Your body knows how to rest, just like the kingdom did. Nothing to do, nowhere to go. Only sleep, deep, quiet, and safe. Long ago, In a quiet kingdom resting between rolling hills and silver lakes, there lived a kind king and a gentle queen. Their days moved slowly, their nights were calm, and love filled the halls of their home. For many years, they wished for a child, not out of need, but out of love. One peaceful spring morning, as birds sang softly, and sunlight warmed the stone walls, their wish arrived. A baby girl was born. They named her Aurora, a name meaning the soft light of morning. From the very beginning, Aurora carried a calm presence. She slept easily. She smiled gently. And when she breathed, the room felt quieter. As Aurora grew, the kingdom seemed to slow with her. Voices softened. Footsteps became lighter. Even the wind felt kinder. Aurora loved simple things. Walking through meadows, listening to birds at dawn, watching the sky change colors at night. She never rushed, and she never needed to. One evening, as Aurora reached her 16th year, she followed a warm golden light up a quiet tower. The room was soft, filled with cushions, gentle air, and open windows. Aurora sat down and felt deeply tired. Not from sadness, not from fear, but from growing, from becoming, from living gently. She lay down, closed her eyes, and drifted into a deep, natural sleep. As Aurora rested, the kingdom rested too. Not by magic, but by harmony. Candles burned lower. Voices softened, and the world paused to breathe. Time moved quietly, like a gentle wave, rising and falling. Years passed, like slow breaths, and one day, morning light returned. Aurora opened her eyes. Not because of magic. Not because of fate. But because she was ready. The kingdom awakened softly, gently, peacefully. And now, as this story fades, you may rest too. Nothing is required of you. Nothing needs fixing. Just gentle breathing and peaceful sleep. You are safe. You are warm. You are allowed to rest. Breathing in and breathing out. Nothing to do. Nowhere to go. Just resting. Just sleeping. You are safe. You are warm. You are allowed to rest. Breathing in and breathing out. Nothing to do. Nowhere to go. Just resting. Just sleeping. You are safe. You are warm. You are allowed to rest. Breathing in and breathing out. Nothing to do. Nowhere to go. Just resting. Just sleeping. You are safe. You are warm. You are allowed to rest. Breathing in and breathing out. Nothing to do. Nowhere to go. Just resting. Just sleeping. Long ago, in a peaceful kingdom surrounded by quiet forests, there lived a kind king and a gentle queen. Their days were calm. Their nights were warm and still. And in their hearts lived one simple wish: to share their love with a child. One soft spring morning, as sunlight touched the earth gently, their wish came true. A baby girl was born. They named her Aurora, a name meaning the light of dawn. The kingdom celebrated quietly, not loudly, but warmly. Good wishes filled the air, and gentle forest fairies arrived, bringing blessings meant to last a lifetime. One fairy gifted Aurora beauty, not just of appearance, but of heart. Another gifted her a voice, soft and calming, capable of bringing peace wherever it flowed. And then, a shadow passed through the room. A forgotten fairy appeared, tired, resentful, her voice heavy, not sharp. She spoke of a future sleep, deep and long. The room grew still, but the final fairy stepped forward, her presence calm and steady. "I cannot remove this fate," she said softly, "but I can soften it. When Aurora sleeps, the entire kingdom will rest with her, until love gently wakes her." Years passed. Aurora grew kind, quiet, and full of light. On her 16th year, as evening approached, she wandered gently through the castle. A soft glow guided her upward. A quiet room, a spinning wheel, one small touch, and sleep arrived. Not sudden, not frightening, just deep, natural, peaceful. The kingdom slept with her. Time itself slowed, then rested. 100 years passed like a single breath, and one quiet day, a prince arrived, moving gently through vines and silence. He found Aurora resting, light still glowing softly around her. With tenderness, he placed a gentle kiss upon her brow. Aurora's eyes opened, slowly, naturally. The kingdom awakened, not suddenly, but softly, as if from a long, healing sleep. And now, as this story begins to fade, you may notice your own breathing slowing, your body resting more deeply, supported, safe. There is nothing left to follow, nothing left to imagine. And as the quiet remains, we're not rushing anywhere tonight. There's nothing you need to do, nothing you need to fix. You're safe here, and a gentle story can begin.
Long ago, beyond quiet hills and gentle forests, there was a peaceful valley surrounded by wild gardens. At the center of this valley stood a small stone home, covered in climbing flowers and soft green vines. Inside lived a young woman known for her calm presence. She moved slowly. She spoke gently. People often said that simply being near her made the air feel lighter. She spent her days tending the garden, touching leaves, listening to the wind move through tall grass. There was nothing hurried about her life, nothing loud, nothing sharp. One evening, as the sky began to darken, a warm stillness settled over the valley. The birds grew quiet. The wind slowed. She felt a gentle heaviness in her body, not exhaustion, just deep comfort, as if the earth itself was inviting her to rest. She lay down beneath an old tree in the garden. Its branches curved protectively overhead. The scent of flowers drifted around her, soft, familiar. Her breathing slowed naturally, in and out. As she rested, something quiet happened. Not a spell, not a curse, just a deep, natural sleep. The kind of sleep the body takes when it finally feels safe. Hours passed, then days. The garden continued to grow. Flowers bloomed. Vines wrapped gently around the stone walls. Nothing decayed. Nothing felt abandoned. Everything waited, peacefully. And even now, the garden still breathes. The wind still moves through leaves. Slow, steady. And somewhere beneath the old tree, rest continues. If this moment feels familiar, that's okay. Sleep often returns us to the same calm place. And as the night remains quiet, there's nothing you need to do. Nothing you need to faux gardens. Just allow the calm to stay. And if the story begins again, it will feel just as gentle. And as the night remains quiet, there's nothing you need to do. Nothing you need to faux gardens. Just allow the calm to stay. And if the story begins again, it will feel just as gentle. The garden is Styrmane. The air moves slowly. Na 2200 ms. Your body remains supported. Nothing asks for your attention. You can stay exactly here. Tonight, there is nothing you need to hurry for. Nothing waiting for your attention. Nothing to remember or plan. You are safe here, and this gentle story can unfold slowly. Long ago, in a quiet kingdom surrounded by rolling hills and soft forests, there lived a princess, not known for noise or spectacle, but for calm, for kindness, for a presence that made everything feel softer. From the moment she was born, the air around her felt peaceful. The castle halls were never loud. Voices stayed gentle. Footsteps echoed slowly, as if the world itself understood the need for rest. As the princess grew, she spent her days walking through gardens, listening to the wind move through tall grass, feeling the warmth of sunlight without urgency. She loved quiet corners, window seats, the still moments just before evening arrived. Her breathing was always slow, steady, natural. One evening, as twilight settled gently over the land, a strange tiredness came to her. Not fear, not danger, just a deep, inviting heaviness. She felt drawn to rest, to close her eyes, to surrender to stillness, and so she did. The princess lay down, and sleep came easily, softly, like a warm blanket placed carefully around her shoulders. As she slept, something beautiful happened. The entire kingdom slowed with her. The castle grew quiet. Candles stopped flickering. Birds rested in the trees. Even the wind softened its voice. It was not a spell of fear, but a shared rest, a collective pause, a reminder that nothing needs to be rushed. Vines gently grew along stone walls, not to trap, but to protect, like nature standing guard, ensuring peace would not be disturbed. Time passed differently here. Minutes felt wide. Hours felt light. The world waited, patiently, calmly. And far away, a quiet understanding remained that rest is never lost time. It is renewal. When the moment was right, when the air felt ready, the princess slowly awakened. Not startled, not hurried, but rested, clear, whole. The kingdom awakened with her. Light returned gently. Life resumed without noise. Everything felt exactly as it should. And now, as this story settles, you may imagine that same rest reaching you. Your body knows how to sleep. Your mind knows how to release. Nothing is required of you. Breathing slows. Shoulders soften. Thoughts drift away. Just like the kingdom, you are allowed to rest deeply, and if sleep comes now, you can welcome it. Everything is calm, everything is safe, and the night continues quietly, peacefully, just as it is. And now, there is nothing left to follow, nothing left to listen for, only the gentle quiet that remains. Your breathing is slow now, natural, unforced. The world around you feels distant, softened, as if wrapped in calm. If thoughts appear, they drift away before forming, like mist dissolving in the night air. Your body feels heavy, supported, safe where it rests. And somewhere, far away, a quiet kingdom rests as well, still, protected, patient. Nothing moves quickly there. Nothing asks to be done. Everything waits peacefully. And just like that kingdom, you are allowed to rest deeply, without effort, without expectation. The night continues, soft, steady, unchanging. And as the quiet lingers, as the calm remains, you may notice there is no beginning and no end. Only rest, only stillness, only this gentle moment, continuing